Okay, here's something I bought last Thursday, I think. As soon as I saw it on eBay, I thought, sorry, I've got to get this. This is Luke Skywalker 1995 on a European card. It's the transition card though. What transition means is that this is a short lightsaber in a long tray, and the Luke Skywalker on this figure is quite highly desired, especially on the US card. But even on the European card, it's quite pricey. This is AFA graded, and it gets 85. 1995 Kenner Star Wars Powder Force Red Tri-Logo Luke Skywalker Transition Tray. Card 85, bubble 85, figure 90. Overall grade 85. And there's the picture of the character. It says 5 languages there: English, Spanish, French, Dutch and German. So the only reason why this figure is valuable is the tray itself. It's nothing to do with the figure, it's just the way it's been packed in the tray, that it is a short saber in a long tray. Better look at the transition tray. You can just see that the lightsaber is too short for the tray. So this is, originally those sabers were really long and went all the way up to the tray, and then they decided to make short sabers, which this is, and then they first put a few of them on these transition trays, which is the long tray short saber, and then they went to short saber short tray, which is the more common version you're going to find, and that's worthless. It's only because this is lightsabers in a long tray that this is valuable. The Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ben Kenobi like this is worth even more. That is very rare. But this one's, I mean, back in the day it was quite a pricey figure. Now it's tends to drop a little bit, but still, we're talking in terms of modern Star Wars, this one's worth quite a bit of lolly. Here's the back of the card. So it's got the English logo, the Spanish and the French. Luke Skywalker. So this is all different to the US card. Then it's got the figures, the first release of figures. Back in the day we went mad for these. I collected a whole lot of them. I mean, Powder Force is just, you know, it's a shame it becomes so valueless. 1995 Tonka Corporation. Kenner. It was already owned by Hasbro very soon after that. These are the first figures you could get. Okay, so that's the back. Because it's a European, it has 5 languages there. Okay. Another look at the transition Power of the Force European card, Luke Skywalker. I mean, these figures were quite controversial at the time because they were so muscled up, but that was quite, you know, how action figures were in the day. They were very muscular, very beefed up, especially the Batman figures. So Kenner decided that they would beef up the Star Wars figures. Eventually they got slimmer and slimmer, so by the end of the Power of the Force line, getting towards the year 2000, the figures were a lot more in proportion. But this one's like a sort of He-Man figure, really beefed up. Okay, and this is a transition Luke. There's a transition Vader. There's a transition Luke X-Wing. There's a transition Luke Dagobah. So it's the early figures that you can find this transition tray on. At its most expensive graded, I'd say maybe £400. And that's on the US card. For this sort of card, Ryan's Toys has got one for about $300 US. So you could check that out. But this is a highly prized collectible for modern collecting Star Wars. There's variation with this thing here, this grappling hook. Some are grey, some are goldish. Okay, here I've got my new Power of the Force 95 Tri-Logo transition Luke lightsaber. And this one is quite a modern Holy Grail. And then this is a vintage Holy Grail. This is the Luke Skywalker. This one's AFA 75. It's a telescoping saber. So you can see that this saber is in two pieces. That filament will pass through that there. This is, you know, quite a rare figure itself. Worth way more than this one. And you can see the differences between the 78 figure and the 95 figure. But, you know, you've got two classic figures there. Luke Skywalker, 95 and 78. Both are sort of, that's a modern Holy Grail and this is a vintage Holy Grail. Okay. So this is the double telescoping Luke Skywalker, very famous figure. And out of all of this double telescoping figures, this is the most common one to find. To find this on a card is very rare, and the Vader and Obi-Wan are just, you're talking massive amounts of money for those two figures. Okay, so this is your double telescoping saber Luke Skywalker. Hong Kong Luke, yellow hair. Really nice figure. Okay, so let's get back to the Power of the Force Luke. So this is your Power of the Force 2 transition Luke Skywalker on the European card. The US card will cost you slightly more than this version. This transition's kind of, out of all the transition, it's the Luke and the Obi-Wan that are the ones that are worth getting. The Luke farm boy, that is, not the X-Wing or Dagobah. And it's only due to that lightsaber being short on a long tray that makes this valuable. Okay? Otherwise, a Luke with a long saber now, loose, graded, not graded, but would only be about £10 at the most. Okay? So that's your very valuable transition Luke, a modern Holy Grail. Really nice figure. And it's, you know, it's got some age to it now. It's 21 years old now. So, you know, very nice. Alright, cheers, bye.